You want to know why I'm so big on mentorship and having coaches? Because it's like outside eyes. Just picture yourself like in a jungle, right? You're a business owner, you're even like other type of profession as a coach or something like that. And you have a mentor and a coach that's been through that jungle, right? Maybe they're like just think about it metaphorically. They're in a helicopter and you're in the jungle and they're up there telling you, go left, go right. There's water right here. Stop right here to rest. Oh, get away from like this like danger area, right? They're trying to get you from point A to point B and accelerate the learning curve, as opposed to you just going through that jungle by yourself, right? That's why I love mentorship. That's why I love coaches. So in this conversation that we had together, we talk about working with Dr. Layne Norton for literally 5 years, and he was our first nutrition and fitness coach, and just how grateful we are just working with him and just having him in our life, and just, how we've just grown literally this past, I would say 14 years. And those 5 years were just very, very special moments. So check out this full conversation we had right here about it. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Chris, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, man?
Not much, man. I see you rocking a nice new flex hat. It says Dynamic Fit Pros.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
It's looking good. We finally got some hats, man. We're over here sitting here wearing other people's brands and stuff like that, where I'm like, come on, why are we doing that? We do a bunch of videos, I walk around a lot of places. It's like, why do we not have our own brands?
I'm rocking one of the shirts here, so...
Little tip, guys. It's cool wearing people's brands, I guess, here and there, but I don't know. The older you get, and the more you get invested into your brand, you're just kind of like, I think you should be getting your brand out there more instead of other people's brands.
No, for sure. I agree with you. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Just sometimes you just forget everything else that's going on, your business, moving parts, life, towards like the last thing you're thinking about is, am I wearing my merchandise, and am I wearing my stuff that has my logos on and stuff? But yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, especially when you're doing video and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the story and lessons learned behind being coached by the one and only Layne Norton.
Dr. Layne Norton.
Dr. Layne Norton. So guys, this is going to be really, really good. We'll do some storytelling, lessons learned, and just again, why it's so important to have coaches and mentors and how they really impact your life, not even during the time you're coaching you, but years and years after. So before we get into today's episode and discussion, we got a fee, right?
Yeah.
All right. I got to remind you guys about the fee because some of you guys might be new. So I appreciate your guys' ears and listening to our podcast, but we have a quick little fee. It's not monetary. It's just a value exchange. If you guys can leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever it is. Takes a minute to do. We would greatly appreciate that. That helps us get more reach on the show and get more listeners and impact more lives. So that's all you got to do, and that's really it. If you don't find value in it, then cool. You don't have to leave a rating or review. No pressure, but I'm sure one of these shows you'll get some value in, and you guys will take action on that.
Yeah.
All right, let's kick this off, man. Where do you want to start with this?
All right, I'm excited about this, man. I want to kind of first talk about just how we hired him. And then we'll kind of get into like some of the value and the lessons learned and stuff like that we gained from like, the partnerships, just being coached by him, all those type of things, the doors that open. But before I want to say this, I want to give, thanks to Layne because, like I've said before, and I've said this so many times where it's like, I give that guy a lot of credit for where we're at right now, because if it wasn't for him first kind of like kickstarting it and starting the fire, underneath us, I don't know, 12 years later if we'd be like where we're at right now. Well, 14 years later.
Yeah, 14
years. So it's a lot of time that's gone by, but it's just like he's the one that really kickstarted a lot of stuff because, he kind of paved the path, and, I saw what he was doing, and I was like, shit, there's two of us, man, and like, we could definitely do this, and I saw year after year as he was growing, he was leveling up, and it's just motivating, and especially if you're being coached by someone at that time, you're seeing their growth and like kind of get to that next level. So it's just really cool. So huge thank you to Layne, and just credit to, basically a lot of it goes to him, so I want to start off with that.
Yeah, 100%
I'll kind of just take you guys through this story. I don't know how long or how deep I'll go with it. We'll just see kind of how it goes. But basically 2008 is just kind of like when we first like started with him. And this was senior, we were almost like, we were seniors in college at that time. Because we graduated in May 2009 from college. Yeah, so I remember I was like, that's a long time when you think about it. I was flipping through a muscular development magazine because Eric and I were subscribed to this muscular development, flex magazines, muscle and fitness. And he was in muscular development. And one day I was just flipping through them, I think I cared more about those magazines than actual like college work and stuff like that.
Didn't you want to be on the cover of the magazine?
We were so into it. It was super funny. I was just tear out
Sorry,
their
man,
workouts,
I don't want to ring your
put their workouts on like Google Docs, like spreadsheets, like I was all into it. But I saw his column in there. I was like, who is this guy? He's natural, and he didn't look natural. I was like, shit, this guy's on juice, because everybody in that magazine's on juice. But I was like, man, this guy looks good. Like he's natural. He's got a PhD in nutritional sciences. Like his column was good. And at the end, there was a call to action. If you want to work with Layne or something like that, he had his email address on there, and I was like, boom, that was a sign right there.
Yeah.
And I always kind of say, like, honestly, guys, like, there's no such thing as coincidence. There's a reason why I picked up that magazine and I read that column. And I really, really think that our father was kind of like, shedding that light on it and telling us, like, hire this guy, let him lead you, because at that time we were kind of yearning, I think, a mentor and a leader and a father presence because we lost our dad, 5 years before that. So I really think that, he was watching over us that day and he guided us along with God as well, too. So, hey, we took a leap and we emailed him and we inquired about his services and we ended up hiring him in 2008. And man, from there, I think we worked with him till about like 2013, a little bit after our show, right? So about 2013, 14.
Yeah. Right.
So it's solid, I would say 5.5 years we worked with Layne Norton, like literally working with him. He program designed all of our exercise programs, our nutrition program. He prepped us for our basically 6-month prep, right? We reverse dieted us.
We annoyed him a lot because we had so many questions.
It was so funny, guys. Like I remember the first time, I think he was on his honeymoon, and I was just excited and just like a sponge. I just wanted to ask him so many questions, and I remember he told me, he's like, guys, can you stop like asking so many questions? I'm on my honeymoon. Like at the time I didn't understand it. I was just a little shit, and I just wanted to learn. But now I look back on it, and I'm just like, I should have been like that. I should be more respectful and stuff like that. Yeah. Obviously, we learned over time, and we were more respectful with the boundaries and everything like that. But it was just an awesome experience, guys. It really was just working with him. Those 5 years, because we learned so much from him. And I'm always going to recommend anybody that's looking to get into being a nutrition or a fitness coach that you need to hire somebody that's a little bit more of a pioneer within nutrition and fitness, because you can go get your certifications, which are great. I mean, I don't know, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole with certifications, but you can read books still, textbooks, in my opinion. But you're not going to learn until you actually work with somebody like that and you get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
So that was just super awesome, to ask him questions firsthand like that and ask him why, the science behind it, the mechanisms, like all this stuff, because he had so much experience working with people and he already had been through it. Yeah. So that's one of the advantages, guys, of paid mentorship is just like, having that access and that proximity and being able to cut down on like mistakes and the learning curve, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I prepped us to want to be coaches too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%. And I think too, man, like just thinking back at all that, you're making me just kind of go down like this whole like tunnel of just kind of like how the experience was working with him and just how much we learned and really how much he did inspire us and impact us, because even when he was coming up, he was on the come up.
Yeah.
And I remember still like just, I was like, man, this guy, he's just doing some big things. He's hungry. He's hungry. And I was like, that's exactly what motivated me more.
Yeah.
To see him like doing like speaking engagements, travel, like on the bodybuilding.com forums. He came out with DVDs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff. And then I know we met him in Vegas one time at the Olympia.
Yeah.
And cool guy, man, good vibes. And I think it was just more about just his hunger and drive, how much that carried over to myself and just made me want to pursue, like what we're pursuing now, and it just lit a fire.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's the thing, guys, is like, we graduated, 2009, we're still working with him, but, we had an itch, to really start like our own kind of like online health and fitness site business,
Yeah.
but we knew we weren't ready for it. We knew that we needed some experience. So that's why we waited literally 2 years to work with him, to be able to like open up like, DET. For 2009, 2011, we did personal training in person, which that helped as well too. But when we were doing personal training, we're still getting coached by him and still asking him questions, still getting mentored, So we were patient, to be honest, with it. I mean, obviously there's not as much resources now, as there is today to get started, right?
Yeah.
So, there wasn't business coaches, there wasn't programs like we offer, so we had to literally be patient, with that and get our hands dirty with like being personal trainers and asking them questions and really kind of like start very, very slow, which he recommended, which was cool. But yeah, after that, he inspired us at the end of 2010 to start Dynamic Duo training. After that, slowly kind of pivoted out of just doing one-on-one training, went 100% online and did that. And then
I remember we had zero clue what we were doing or building a business, and we'd start asking him questions about that. And he was probably like, what the hell's wrong with these guys? Like, first they're asking me all this exercise and nutrition stuff, and then now they're trying to ask me business questions. And it's like, oh, I'm a business coach. Just thinking back, it's funny, man, because again, we were just so hungry, but we just had no clue where to start, how to do it. But I mean, at least we were trying to be resourceful and do something about it.
Hey man, we were hungry. So I guess I'm going to move on to now, guys. Just kind of like some of the lessons learned, just like working with Layne, for those 5.5 years. So obviously the training and nutrition knowledge that really helped out as well too. He actually taught us how to coach people. Because that's the thing, is like, people can sit there and get their certifications, they can read textbooks and stuff like that, and they can be super knowledgeable, right, from the neck up on, training and nutrition methodology, but you got to know how to coach people, especially online, so he taught us firsthand how to do that because he got us results with it. We're like, holy shit, this actually works, so we were like sponges and literally just like learned so much just like through training, nutrition knowledge, through and actually knowing how to coach people. The second thing I would say is like the systems and processes within the coaching business. Again, we were very patient. We saw everything he was doing, literally seeing it, documenting it, like having conversations. This is how he does this. This is what his system is for this and that, his process for this. And he made mistakes. I'll be the first person to say he made some mistakes. He probably had a lot of clients, and Eric and I were like, shit, man, like.
All right, just give me 1 second. We'll get back to the training. Okay. Now look, if you are looking to enhance your content, if you're looking to really build what we call a content machine, okay, we have this awesome worksheet for you. So just check out the link below and you guys can download this awesome worksheet where there's like 3 or 4 different type of like exercises in there. You guys can really roll out some brand new content for your guys' online audience, your guys' brand, your offer. Okay. Now back to the training.
This guy's a great coach, but there's some mistakes he's making. And like we can capitalize on this and be different. And that could be our own kind of unique angle.
Yeah, customer experience wise, customer journey wise.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And not to bash him or anything like that, but you know what I mean? Like everybody makes mistakes in business and stuff like that. But hey, if you see what people are doing wrong, you just take advantage of that, capitalize on that. So that was the lesson there, right?
Yeah. I think too, like one of the lessons that really hit me, like I said, was just like, it was acquiring the grit and belief in ourselves. Yeah. And his whole mentality was outwork. That was a big word that he coined and he was really big on. And it was just to outwork mentally and physically. And I understood, at the time I understood the physicality of like outwork, but I didn't really grasp that whole concept of like outwork people mentally as well too. Yeah. Because again, we were very new to this world of like health and fitness, and it's just a lot of it is it's mind, body, soul. It really is. Yeah. And so much of it is mental toughness and grit, to where if you don't have that mental toughness and grit, as a coach, when you're going into the gym, executing bodybuilding, powerlifting, whatever it is, you're gonna fold. Yeah. And life's gonna hit you with adversity no matter what. So I think that was a beautiful, learning lesson along that way, is just acquiring that grit, acquiring just the self-belief, the confidence, the certainty, all of it, the knowledge. And it's like once you put all those things together, it's scary. It's scary as to like who you can become and what the capabilities and possibilities that you have going forward. Because again, this mentor, this pioneer, he has impacted you so much. He has got you to like look at yourself as like almost like, man, like I'm on another level. So it's almost like game over. And exactly. I felt that's like what happened with us.
Exactly. Yeah. That's huge, man. It really is. I would say too, we did learn some business knowledge from him as well too, because we were asking him questions. We did ask him if that was okay, and he was totally cool with that, which was like really nice to him. But Eric and I seeked business mentors early on, I would say too. Around 2013, we didn't wait, because that was kind of the time where we started really peaking in our business. I really wish though, guys, and that's why I advocate, get a business coach faster than what you think, because there is more resources out there these days. It's not like it was before, and it's like if you're going to go all in on this and this is truly what you're passionate about, then don't waste any time. Have some urgency, honestly. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Some other opportunities I'm going to talk about just that came out of this relationship with Layne, and being faithful and loyal to him. You know what I mean? Working with him for so many years and just literally connecting with them every single week on email, asking them questions like, hey, how's your family? How's your wife? How's your your business going, all this stuff, right? It's a lot of time together with like a mentor and a coach. And you think about it, 5.5 years, every single week, asking them questions, right? And dialogue with them, right? So, there's a time, I think in 2014, Eric and I, we hired one of our first business coaches, and they recommended starting some ebooks because those were really kind of hot at around 2014. So Eric and I were like, shit, yeah, like we're let's do this, And I think we came out with the very first one was the HIIT cardio guide. Was that it with him?
It was, yeah, that was with him.
Okay.
Yeah, we collaborate on.
Is that the only one we collaborate? I think that was Strong Mind, Strong Body.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So let me go into that. So the ebook that we came out with was called HIIT. It was a HIIT cardio guide. At the time, there's some really good research that came out. Layne was really big on like HIIT cardio, high intensity interval training. So Eric and I were like, oh shit, we see this, like we see that this is like hot, everybody's talking about it, everybody wants to do HIIT cardio. So we jumped on it, and we literally made like an ebook that had like videos with it, a whole entire kind of like research behind it.
Different modalities,
everything. It was super cool. We still have it too. So we said to Layne, we're like, hey, like we're coming out with this ebook. We'll do literally 95% of the work, right? All you have to do is write a forward and then promote it on your social media, right? And he was on board. 100% on board with it, because why not? It was a 50-50 split, with the profits, So we ended up doing that, and I think we made like probably over like I think 10 grand easily with that, if not. But it was simple, it was a hard work on the front end of like doing the whole ebook, the video, and all that stuff. But man, it's just the power of having somebody that has that type of authority and collaborating with them and making life easy on him, to where all he has to do is write it forward, put his stamp of approval on it, and then promote it.
Yeah, and not only that, it was just there was so much more to just like the monetary part to it. It was just getting his traffic and his audience to see who we are, just to really see like what we're trying to do, like how we're trying to bridge the gap and change things in the fitness industry, and again collect emails as well too. I mean, there's so much that was more than just like, hey, making some money.
Yeah. And in 2016, I think we came out with this do-it-yourself type of program, 12-week program called Strong Mind, Strong Body. So Eric and I kind of saw where the puck was going with mindset becoming very big within the industry. I think we're still a little bit too early on. People weren't kind of grasping. It wasn't too sexy at the time, but we saw that we saw it around the corner that it was going to get big. So we came out with this program. And it was just like a whole entire kind of members portal, do-it-yourself thing. I think we charged like a couple $100 for it, right, for a 12-week program. Super cool, like a lot of stuff in there, a lot of value. And all we did was ask him, hey, just create an intro video for us on there, kind of putting your stamp of approval on there. Anything else that you want to add in there, by all means, feel free to do it, and just promote it. Yeah. And he made us like this really nice intro video, because he went through the whole entire thing, put his stamp of approval on it, and then we created that program. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was two kind of like, digital products that we came out with and collabed with him. And if we didn't have that relationship with Layne, we couldn't have done that,
Absolutely.
So again, that shows you guys the power behind partnerships and relationships and how much time things take to be able to do that.
Yeah. Being patient.
Yeah. And the other opportunity we had with him was when he recommended us as coaches.
Yeah.
That was huge. Was that 2014, or was that after our prep or before?
I think that was before.
Before?
Yeah.
Okay.
So before or right after?
Yeah, like maybe say around 2013, but yeah, he was, like Eric said, he was on the come up, and he had too much supply, I mean way too much people just like inquiring him, and he just didn't have enough coaches to be able to do it at the time, and he was only a one-man show, I think, to be able to coach people. So he started recommending coaches. I think he recommended like 10 coaches.
Yeah.
And that was super cool with him, man, like to where he put our name like on that list, and I still have a screenshot of that because I remember that. Yeah. That was a big turning point. It's not like we got like a flood of clients, from that, like right off the bat, or our business blew up or anything like that, but it did help a lot.
Yeah, it helped a lot. It expedited things for sure.
It did. Just having that trust from Layne Norton saying that you're a recommended coach at his list at that time, that was huge, right? So again, it goes back because we were loyal, we were faithful. You know what I mean? We did business with him. We, were coached and mentored by him. He trusted us, and he saw our come up too. And he was like, man, these guys are putting in the work. They got their, masters in sports nutrition. They asked me a bunch of questions. They coach people. Heck yeah, but I recommend them as coaches. So that was super cool, man. Yeah. Another opportunity that came up was Layne had like a tour in Australia. He was doing like, fitness and nutrition camps out there. And there's an opportunity to be able to sponsor, his Australia, tour. And, obviously, yeah, we had to pay money to do that, but we believed in him, what he was doing out there to help people out, right? And another opportunity was to get our brand out there, right? Dynamic Duo Training. So, we donated, I think, a lot of shirts out there. We donated, what else? I think some coaching, free coaching, services or something like that. I can't remember everything, guys, but we had it all shipped over there to Australia. We paid to have that whole, camp thing, sponsored. And they made a video clip with him, I think Brian Doris and somebody else, just saying thank you to Dynamic Duo Training for all this stuff. They sent us pictures with Aussies wearing shirts and all that stuff with Dynamic Duo Training. So again, guys, there's an opportunity just to support him, be loyal to him, and also, have attention and traffic on us and our brand.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I would say the last thing, guys, with this was the positioning in our content and sales by saying that we worked with him and we're coached by him. It was huge, guys. And this is why it's important. If you do have a mentor and they're well known, that you use that the credibility by association, that positioning. Because for us to be in our content, oh, by the way, we worked with Layne Norton. Oh, by the way, he recommended us. It was such an easy kind of sell at the end. You know what I mean? Especially in our proposal at the end to sell our high ticket program. It's yeah. And by the way, we worked with Layne Norton for 5 years, been mentored under him. He recommended us as coaches. So you're in good hands.
Yeah, and this is what really stands out. And this is a good teaching point for the listeners and coaches. This is what we tell our coaches in our programs that we help with. Is again, just build a business around that's ethical and it's integrity based.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. The business is not about you. It's about helping and serving other people. And we stayed true to that when we had Dynamic Duo Training. We're still doing that now with Dynamic Fit Pros.
Yeah.
But I know Layne saw that. He saw how many people we helped. He saw all the testimonials. People thanking him for recommending us.
Yeah.
So it's he appreciated that.
Yeah.
He was man, these are some of the good guys in the industry.
Yeah.
And they never sold themselves out. They did everything by integrity and just through their ethics.
Yeah.
So it's a huge just learning point for early on coaches to understand that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so that's everything, guys, that I can kind of think of. If there's another, if there's more that comes to mind, I'll do a round two of this and go deeper on it. But I wanted to share this kind of whole entire story and lessons learned, working with Layne and the value of it. And we still have a great relationship with him. We saw him at the Arnold 3 years ago. Said what's up to him.
Had him on a
podcast a couple of times. So we got a great relationship with him. I'd love to do, some more collaborations with him going forward. I know he's getting busier right now and he's kind of getting back up to that point where he's starting to blow up too again. So it's all about timing though, guys, and being patient. So that's a lesson for you guys whenever you guys partner with people and stuff. It's timing, it's being patient, it's not being too, pushy. Stay true to who you are, your ethics, your value, like Eric said, your loyalness, your faithfulness with these people. And your time will come. Yeah. Your time will come with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that was good. I'm glad that we were able to tell the story and just recap everything and just talk about our lessons learned and just again the importance of just alignments in your life.
Yeah.
It is so important, and just to again do things through integrity. Stand by your values and really just be patient. Be patient. Exchange value to other people. Don't make it about you. And it's a beautiful thing. You just never know what that's going to turn into. And again, just play the long game. Play the long game. There's no rush. There's no urgency with all this stuff. So, yeah, I guess we'll land the plane there.
Yeah.
But guys, if you are listening to this podcast and you are a coach and you are looking for some business mentoring and to get to the next level in your coaching business going into 2023, we invite you guys to a free high ticket brainstorming call. And that's a loose call. Leave your credit cards at home. We're going to have some fun. We'll deliver value to you guys and just see where you're at and just ultimately to see if we can help you guys. So if you guys want to take action on that, just click the link in the show notes right there, and there's a 15-minute call scheduler. And that's really it, guys. We'll have some fun with that. But other than that, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate your guys' eyes, your ears, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
All right, you can probably see why we have such a great respect and appreciation for Dr. Layne Norton, right? So hopefully you got some value from that conversation we had and just literally working with him for 5 years and just basically the whole behind the scenes kind of we pulled back the curtain on everything that we learned, the lessons. We'll probably do another one too as more things come up, okay? So the next thing obviously is listen to this interview and watch this interview as well too that we did with Dr. Layne Norton. We talk about some really, really cool stuff on here. I'm sure you'll get something out of it. So watch this interview right here.